And all the descriptions of the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, is that he was a very what is the bashful human being. That he would, even the way he laughed, the way he spoke, uh, he wouldn't, even the descriptions of, he would, if he laughed, he covered his mouth, or that if he, you would never hear him laugh very loudly. uh, the, the whole demeanor is one of not entitlement vis-a-vis the world, but it is as if, I know that I am a guest in this world, and my status as a guest in this world makes me reserved and modest in what I claim and the way I act and how I assert myself. That, when we know that the Prophet ﷺ would blush very easily, would uh, never raise his voice in contexts where, people, he would make it a point, didn't like to raise his voice even in calling people or when people called him to have. I mean, and again, in Surah An-Nur is precisely the surah that instructs us, says, learn how to speak with dignity and honor to one another. So don't call upon the Prophet والسلام, like you would call upon one another. All of this, it goes back to that singular quality of beauty in modesty. And you're right, our societies, I mean, it's part of capitalist society, consumer society. It is all structured on the idea that I make a presentation. The presentation should appeal to your base impulses because I want you to buy. I don't want you to sit there and reflect and think. I want you to desire and buy. And so constantly, when I appeal to you, I have to appeal to something that would invoke an impulse, not the intellect, but an impulse. And so it either has to make you laugh and want to buy, it has to make you crave and want to buy, it makes you desire and want to buy. And in order for this commercial system to work to the advantage of the people who, you know, are the suppliers, it had to deconstruct modesty in society. It had to say, flash it, show it. Don't be bashful. If you have it, all these expressions that we have, if you have, be on display, because that's how I get you to buy stuff. If you're not on display, then you're not going to have the desire to buy. The desire to buy comes from, okay, I see things on display and I want to be on display. Now, the sad thing is that, it is exactly like societies of Jahiliyyah, where morality is structured around the well being and the promotion of the interests of an elite. Our entire morality, from, when we teach the concept of coolness to kids, or fashion, or everything, is structured to serve the interests of a small elite that ultimately benefits from all of this. And the role of moral insight, the role of not just religious leaders, but moral leaders, is to come and say, why are we all, whether we realize it or not, why are we all existence in servitude to the interests of that elite that keeps getting richer and more powerful? Why can't we have our values come from our engagement with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al Malik al Quddus, al Jabbar, al Mutakabbir, rather than what this elite, the way this elite wants to shepherd us so that it can maximize itself in whatever interests it has. Unfortunately, moral challengers to the to this hedonistic, materialistic, capitalist world have been, in the historical period in which we live, have been all defeated. But but this is not sustainable. We're destroying the world. This is not. It's all going to crumble. And when it crumbles, people are going to say, "What went wrong?" And I hope that Muslims who are supposed to be informed by their relationship to their Creator will have something to benefit the earth at that point. But, in other words, they will pose an alternative. They will be able to engage in that moral critique as to why the heck we've done what we. Allah Alam. Because, I mean, it just is just not sustainable. We've seen, we keep seeing the evidence of um, what the darkness that the system creates.